Hi, I'm Don Keating. Thanks for joining me this week on Brunswick Cable Access News. Here are this week's headlines. We'll be talking about Anthony Gonzalez and Susan Palmer competing for a congressional seat, traffic rerouted near Laurel Eastwood Road's intersection, and some suggestions for dealing with those pesky fleas. So join us right now here on Brunswick Cable Access News. The successor to Jim Renossi as U.S. Representative from Ohio's 16th Congressional District will be either Republican Anthony Gonzalez or Democrat Susan Moran Palmer. Gonzalez and Palmer both emerged as winners in primary elections crowded with candidates eager to fill the seat in Congress created when Renossi decided to run first for governor and then switched to the Senate race. History suggests the winner will likely be Gonzalez unless the blue wave predicted to sweep through Congress in November reaches extraordinary heights. The 16th district includes all of Wayne County and portions of Cuyahoga, Medina, Portage, Stark, and Summit counties. It has been a stronghold of Republican voters since the state GOP stretched and twisted its boundaries following the 2010 census. The 2018 Cook Partisan Voter Index for the district is R+8, meaning that in the previous two presidential elections, this district's results were 8 percentage points more Republican than the national average. This makes Ohio's 16th congressional district the 162nd most Republican nationally. Gonzalez, a resident of Westlake, is also the best funded and best known candidate in the field. A former St. Ignatius, Ohio State and Indianapolis Colts football star, Gonzalez obtained a master's degree in business from Stanford after his football career ended. He then started a technology company. Gonzalez's campaign website highlights his ties to Northeast Ohio as well as his views on a range of issues, including responding to the opioid epidemic through emergency federal funding and targeting pharmaceutical companies, creating jobs through regulatory rollbacks, and expanding technical education and protecting national security through renegotiating the Iran nuclear deal. Although BuzzFeed News said that Gonzalez avoided mentioning Donald Trump in his primary election campaign speeches, Gonzalez supported Trump's plan to build a border wall, and he said that he approved of Trump's economical policies. Palmer is also from Westlake and is a principal account manager at Medtronic. She told Ballotopia her top priorities, if elected, would be to reduce gun violence, preserve and improve the Affordable Care Act, and maintain Medicaid expansion, and improve working class access through opportunity, through education, training, and a living wage. We need to change our perspective on accessible health care, Palmer said. Instead of looking at it as a national right or as evidence of overreach of the federal government, we need to see it as an obstacle to our country's growth. Our country is one of the best countries for entrepreneurship, but lack of affordable health care is like cement shoes on our economy, dragging and slowing its growth, Palmer added. We have the largest GDP of any country and spend the most on health care and have the worst medical outcomes across our population. Gonzalez opposes abortion, supports merit-based immigration, and building a wall along the U.S. southern border, and says he will support legislation to keep drug companies from aggressively pushing prescription pills into our communities and onto our streets. Every day that I am in Washington, D.C., I will be focused on fostering a pro-worker, pro-business environment that allows Northeast Ohio economy to survive and thrive, he says on his campaign website. Access to Eastwood Drive from Laurel Road will remain closed for another few days in connection with the Laurel Road reconstruction project, city officials announced this week. The intersection, which was closed to the public August 31st, is closed for intersection paving, a project that is expected to last 10 days. According to consulting city engineer Matt Jones, Throughout the duration of the project, motorists will be unable to access Eastwood Drive via Laurel Road and vice versa. As a result, Jones said, a detour has been posted along Mapes and Brittenell Drives. Laurel Road eastbound traffic will not be affected for the duration of the project, Jones said. As a reminder, Jones said, Laurel Road continues to be closed to through traffic between Pearl Road and Maxwell Boulevard, and local traffic is maintained in the eastbound direction only between Pearl Road and Brittenell Drive. We thank the motorists for their patience as we work to expedite the reconstruction of Laurel Road, he said. The Laurel Road reconstruction project, which began last month, is expected to be complete by the end of October, weather depending. As part of the $1.1 million project, the deteriorated concrete pavement and base is expected to be removed, and the storm sewer crossovers and catch basins will be replaced within the project limits. Additionally, new aprons are expected to be constructed on all affected driveways, and sidewalks will be removed and replaced as needed, similar to the work that was done as a part of the Grafton Road Improvement Project. City officials have already applied for funding for the project's second phase through the Ohio Public Works Issue 1 program. If approved, the state grant funds would enable the city to reconstruct a portion of Laurel Road from just east of Brittenell Drive to just west of Maxwell Boulevard. The total estimated cost of the project, Jones said, is $1 million, which will be funded by a combination of approximately $614,000 OPWC grant funds, as well as just under $400,000 in local funds. If the grant funding is awarded, Jones said, the project would not begin until July 2019, when the funding is expected to be distributed. Additional phases of the construction on Laurel Road are anticipated over the next several years. Many people don't know Medina County has a public transit system, and some of those that do say its hours of operation are too limited. Those are two of the key findings in a recent survey of transportation needs conducted by the Medina County Transit Consortium and a special committee convened by United Way of Medina County. Members of the two groups met at the Medina County Administration Building August 29th to review the results of the survey conducted over the last few months by Proximity Marketing in Brunswick. The survey included responses from 100 people who owned businesses or were involved with workforce issues, 27 people from agencies that provide services to senior citizens, and 5 people representing individuals with disabilities. County Administrator Scott Miller summed up the responses from the three groups this way. In short, the common concerns expressed were hours of operation, lack of advertising and marketing. Limited access to transit is considered an important issue among businessmen who responded to the survey. Half the companies who took part in the survey said reliable transportation was a significant issue for them, and 91% of them said none of their employees utilized public transportation. Miller said 70% of the employers who responded to the survey indicated that the lack of reliable transportation has limited their growth, since potential employees cannot get to the job, particularly during the second and third shifts. Miller added that other survey respondents indicated potential riders did not even know of the existence of MCPT, which operates only during business hours and not all on Sundays. However, the survey indicated that weekday business hours are precisely when most senior citizens use MCPT buses to get to medical appointments and stores. Nearly all of them limit their travel to Medina County, although Office for Older Adults Director Laura Toth noted that her agency can provide transit vouchers only for in-county trips. Transit Director Mike Salamone said there may soon be some additional transit options available for riders who want to take bus trips outside the county. He is trying to get a pilot program underway which would carry Summit County residents to and from a job in Wadsworth. MCPT has also recently joined NeoRide, a consortium of regional transit agencies designed to facilitate bus travel across county lines. Miller said membership in NeoRide offers the potential to improve ridership on MCPT and perhaps bring people here from neighboring counties. He noted that about 70% of the workers living in Medina County are employed outside the county. Consortium and Transit Committee members plan to form subcommittees to explore solutions to some of the issues raised by the survey. Among those issues is finding better ways to utilize and coordinate the existing resources of not only MCPT, but several service agencies that have their own vehicles to transport clients. Miller said it might also be possible to establish a countywide transit system that operates much the same way that Uber provides taxi rides. The Brunswick City Schools and the Brunswick community kicked off the high school football season and a new school year last week with the annual Rally in the Alley community tailgate. The event, which included free hot dogs, chips, pizza, and beverages, as well as games and activities, launched in 2017 and is continuing to grow in popularity among fans. Not only were the Brunswick High School cheerleaders involved in the activities, but the Brunswick High School Marching Blue Devils also provided the entertainment for the festivities, which took place from 5 until 6:45 p.m. The tailgate, which took place in the BHS courtyard outside the Performing Arts Center, also featured inflatables for young children as well as face painting. Amy Rutledge, the district's community relations coordinator, said last year's event was so successful that the district elected to host it again as a way to promote both school spirit and community pride. This year's tailgate included the introduction of the school's district's Teachers of the Year and Classified Employees of the Year. Each of those staff members and their families were recognized on the football field prior to the game. New to this year's festivities was the introduction of this year's kindergarten class, who will graduate in 2031. All kindergartners from all 7 of the district's elementary schools were invited to attend the celebration and walk onto the field to wave to the crowd prior to the kickoff. Rutledge said that because of the invitation to the kindergartners, the event brought out a lot of young families, many of which weren't familiar with the high school or the Friday night football traditions. As a result, she said, the district is optimistic that more of the community will attend the district's sporting events and not just football. The tailgate unofficially ended as the Brunswick High School Marching Blue Devils made their way through the parking lot and to the stadium minutes before the 7:30 game started. The varsity Blue Devils later went on to lose to Cleveland Heights 13-0. Fleas! You know what those are. Those pesky little, almost microscopic critters that feed on anything with blood, including dogs, cats, and humans. There are a number of over-the-counter drugs to prevent flea inhabitation, as well as a number of home remedies. Here are just a few things you can try at home to get rid of those little vampires. Try a nightlight near the floor and a bowl of water directly under the nightlight with some dishwashing liquid in it. Fleas are attracted to light at night to try and stay warm. They jump towards the light, bounce off of it, and end up in a bowl of soapy water for an undelightful swim. Rapid Home Remedies suggest using an herbal flea spray to get rid of fleas from your home. This natural remedy for fleas is made from non-toxic products found around your home, making it suitable to use around pets and children. Create a flea spray by mixing 4 liters of vinegar, 2 liters of water, 500 milliliters of lemon juice, and 250 milliliters of witch hazel in a large spray bottle. Before applying the product around your home, you should vacuum properly, emptying the contents into an outside bin and wash any bedding or cushions that could be infested. Once this is completed, apply the natural flea remedy to your home using a heavy spray, spraying carpets, furniture, pet bedding, window seals, and floors. If you're struggling with knowing how to get rid of the fleas, know that one of the most effective flea control home remedies is vacuuming. This helps get rid of fleas by removing them from the fibers of your carpets and furniture. However, there is a way in which you can increase the effectiveness of this by using baking soda. For this flea home remedy to work, lay down your baking soda along your carpets and furniture. Take a hard brush and rub it into the fabric. After that, Vacuum your home thoroughly and empty the contents of the vacuum into a bag and place it in an outside trash can. Much like baking soda, salt is a great natural flea home remedy when accompanied by vacuuming. Salt acts as a dehydration agent, helping to get rid of adult fleas. To treat fleas with this natural remedy, take some salt, finely ground works the best, and sprinkle it all over your carpets in each room. Leave the salt to rest for 1 to 2 days, then vacuum your home throughout, emptying the contents in an outside trash can. For additional remedies to get rid of those pesky little vampires known as fleas, go to the website listed below. And coming up next, we're going to take a look at the extended outlook with the weather forecast as well as our climatological data and see if there is any autumnal-like air in sight. Hey, welcome back. We've had rain, and it's getting to be that time of the year where you are either feast or famine. And boy, recently it was a lot of feast here in Ohio. A lot of rain fell. And let's take a look at that beautiful background there with the clouds and the blue sky. Boy, don't you wish you had that right about now. It's been cloudy here recently. The average high the 21st to the 27th of September here in great old Brunswick and Medina County, 71, dropping to 69 degrees, and your average low is 50 to 48. 48 degrees already? Doesn't seem possible, but it is true. And your average rainfall for that week, the 21st to the 27th, averaging 0.79, and that's actually lower than what we had been experiencing because of the thunderstorms. Now, what about the temperature outlook? Well, according to the Weather Prediction Center, the National Weather Service, we are expecting much of the country along and south of the Ohio River Valley and then up here into the northern plain states and over into the Rockies. Much of the country to be a 33% chance or greater of above normal temperatures. So how does that equate into your precipitation forecast? Well, let's take a look at that. Your precipitation forecast for that same time frame, it's a little different. You're far west, of course, out here expecting a 40% chance or greater of below normal. And then your central plain states, a target bullseye area here in the central plains, about a 40% chance or greater of above normal. And then normal from the north to south from the Great Plain or from the Great Lakes all the way down to the Gulf Coast states. And then from the middle Atlantic states up into the New England states, a 40% chance, give or take, of above normal. So generally speaking, about the same as you would expect on the average for this time of the year, right? So with that in mind, how about outdoor activities? Outdoor activities, you might say, what are we going to do there? Well, what we're going to do is take a look at the bulletin board coming up. Edwards Middle School has an important place in Brunswick history. The western end of the school was built in 1921 and has served both elementary and high school students. The building remained as Brunswick High School until 1968. In 1987, the name was changed to honor Miss Maud Edwards. Miss Edwards was an administrator at Edwards Middle School from 1950 to 1968. Now that the school is scheduled for demolition in 2020, the Brunswick Area Historical Society has a plan to save the front entrances of the Edwards building and move them to Heritage Farm. The goal will be to incorporate them into a new building where the society will recreate an old classroom and house historical school documents. To learn more or to donate to this project, contact them at the email address listed below or use the contact form at the bottom of their webpage listed below as well. Donations can be sent to P.O. Box 714, Brunswick 44212, or go to their website, also listed below. Medina Creative Housing has another project about to launch, Mending Fences. Mending Fences is a Medina Creative Therapy Ranch program serving veterans and youth with social and emotional needs. One of the most exciting Life Steps programs is Medina Creative Therapy Ranch, offering therapeutic horse riding for individuals with disabilities. Medina Creative Therapy Ranch is located on Lake Road in Medina. This program is also offered to our campers as part of the Life Steps Summer Camp and is now open for sessions. The therapy instructors, Melissa Penley and Laura Carson, are certified through the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship, or PATH. They utilize horses to help enhance participants' riding skills, motor control, postural control, balance, teamwork, and independence. Therapeutic riding allows riders to acquire the ability to control a horse as well as their own body, inspiring self-confidence and responsibility. As with all great opportunities, there is a wish list of needs from machinery to basic and specialty tack for sponsorships. For more information on what you can do to help or find contact details for a special needs person in your life, check out their website listed below or follow Medina Creative Housing on Facebook. Join a park naturalist on Saturday, September 29th for a search for snakes at nearby Allerdale Park, 401 Remsen Road in Granger Township. As the days begin to shorten and the temperatures begin to cool, the timing becomes ideal for searching for snakes that, like us, are looking to bask in the warmth of the autumn sun. Join us as we hike through field and forest to look for these awesome reptiles. Meet at the park's west parking lot at 2 p.m. for this roughly 1-hour hike. All ages are welcome, no registration is required, and best of all, it's free. The Brunswick Farmers Market is still open Sundays from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. through October 14th. Parking and admission are both free, and the Farmhouse Museum is also open on those days from noon until 2. There is a lot to see and to do with many great vendors, so come on out and enjoy the day. Those interested in vending are encouraged to call 330-441-0292 or send an email to the email address listed below. You know, I think everyone knows how we feel about giving local rescue dogs a chance at a new home, and with the great pooch we had for today, it turned out to be a bit camera shy. So, Emmett, our first rescue, is still available and said he would gladly step in. I will be right back to reintroduce Emmett. And welcome back to Brunswick Cable Access News. We have a special guest today, 2 of them actually. We're starting a little segment today for adoptive pets, and today we have a 2.5-year-old Terrier Mastiff with us today. And we have Jen Alardo from Buckeyes Missions, I believe it is, in Brunswick, correct?
Yes, correct.
Thanks for joining us. And first of all, just tell us a little bit about your organization here in Brunswick, what they're about, and how you got started.
We are a 501c3 nonprofit, and like you said, we're located in Brunswick. We rescue homeless animals, dogs primarily. We do have a cat side to our program as well, but we do foster only with our cats. We do have a brick and mortar facility. That's where we house our dogs. We do foster as well. And we pull dogs from euthanasia lists to help other rescues so they don't have to euthanize their animals, which is how we came across Emmett here.
Oh, okay. How long has the company been in existence here in town?
Our brick and mortar facility opened in October of 2016.
Okay, just a couple years then. And do you get animals on a regular basis, or is it sporadic?
Pretty regular.
Is
pretty
it?
regular.
What type of animals do you? I guess one of the questions would be, what's the most common that you get in?
Dogs.
Dachshunds?
Dogs.
Really? Oh, dogs.
Dogs.
I
Yeah.
thought you said dachshunds. I might have thought that because I have a dachshund, and he's a holy terror. But so I guess what type of breed is the most common that you get in the facility?
Honestly, we see primarily bullies. Ohio is pretty much inundated with them. Unfortunately, they see a lot of backyard breeding, so they tend to be the dogs that end up on the euthanasia list 9 times out of 10. So that's really what we see a lot of.
But they're not really born the way they come in. I mean, they're born peaceful animals for the most part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, aggression is never something that's bred into dogs. So, unfortunately, they just see a lot of bad breeding and typically a lot of bad ownership. And those types of breeds, they're the good in those breeds, which is, something like loyalty and wanting to appease their owners, become their very undoing. So they end up on euthanasia lists all the time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I would imagine you probably go through a rather extensive screening process before you adopt the animal out.
Absolutely. We're not just like a typical shelter where you can come in and walk out with a dog. We require that the people make an appointment, come in to see our dogs, talk to us, meet us, obviously. If they have other animals, cats or dogs in the house, we're going to set up a meeting with those animals as well. And then we also do a home check, and we also check references.
Okay, and after the dog is adopted, do you do checkups with them from time to time?
We do, and we also like to establish pretty much a lifetime connection with those people that adopt from us. So we also do daycare and a boarding facility, which is at our Brunswick location. And our hope is that once people adopt from us, that they come back and use our services, so we can really establish a connection for the lifetime of their pet.
Okay, is there any type of fee?
For the adoption fee, they range from $150 to $300. It depends on the age of the animal.
Okay, all right. And this is Emmett, 2.5-year-old.
Yep.
And how long has he been at the facility?
He's been with us for almost a year now.
Oh, wow, okay. So he seems to be a really well-mannered dog.
He is phenomenal, and the reason that we've had him so long, it was never a behavioral issue with him, but because he came to us actually with 2 broken front legs. So he went through his required medical treatment before we want to place him up for adoption, because we want to make sure that he's well, before we adopt him out. So he actually came to us with both of his front legs, and we tried to repair his left front leg, and because his injuries were so old by the time that we got him, the repair didn't hold. So at that point, the only choice we had left to do was to amputate.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that when we adopt him out, that we've done all we can for him.
Right. Now, how about with other pets and small children? How is he, do you know?
Emmett is phenomenal with everybody and everything. He's gone to a lot of events with me, even with our daycare dogs that come in. He meets all the new dogs. We actually had a dog that had puppies while she was at our facility. He was great with the puppies. Our volunteers will come in, sometimes bring kids with them. He's played with the other children. He's just a great all-around dog.
So he seems to get rather comfortable rather quickly
Really
wherever
quickly.
he's at.
Yeah,
Emmett
makes every place his home.
And this is a trial run for Bat TV, because I think this is one of the first times they've had critters in the building. And so, Emmett, your behavior is going to tell our future, so to speak. So how can they get a hold of you if they're interested in Emmett or seeing what you have available at the time?
You're welcome to call the sanctuary. The phone number is 330-460-6347, or you can email us at buckeyethepity@gmail.com.
Now, do you have a website that has your current animals on it as well?
It's buckeyesmissionsandsanctuary.com.
Okay. All right, Jen, thank you very much for coming down to the station
Sure.
today. I appreciate it. Good luck to you, Emmett. Are you there? Hello? Yeah, just like my
He's
dog.
just ready to nap.
Every time I talk to my dog, totally has a deaf ear to me, and he never listens unless he wants a treat.
Yeah, that's pretty much him too.
Yeah.
Food motivated.
All right. Okay, that'll be it for today's show. We hope you've enjoyed it. Take a look at Emmett. Check out the website. See what they have down there. And as the old saying goes, adopt, don't buy. Just go and check out your options and give these lovable animals that are open for adoption a fair chance before you do anything else. That'll do it for Brunswick Cable Access News this week. Until the next week, I'm Don Keating.
The preceding program was made possible through the use of equipment and facilities of Brunswick Area Television.